The upset no one saw coming. Let me rephrase that. The upset no one saw coming.
We doing everything they talk about. You know I'm everything a boss about. Not putting work and gotta toss them.
Yes. Let's dive right into it. Athletes Forum Podcast. Jamal Clay here. I'm your host. Thank you guys all for tuning in, coming back, and per usual, locker room. Drop a comment. Let me know what you guys think. Share the video with a friend, and let's dive right into it. Week two. I could almost make an argument, except for one. I could almost make an argument for every game we got on the slate that could go either way. So right now, I'm going to give you some quick picks and previews for week two. You guys let me know what you think. All right? Let's not waste any time here. Let's jump right into it. Anthroners versus the Vikings. Vikings home opener. They're back in black, right? Or they're about to be here in black. New jerseys. You know, they're coming off a week where they might have took Prague not so serious, which could be a reason why they started a little slow. Yannick Meyer had his welcome back party. Obviously, he played for Vienna a couple years ago. He's back with them. He had a great performance, leading receiver in that game. Fires next week. So I would say this is a track game, but they already came out slow versus Prague. I think they'll be a little bit more focused in this game. The Anthroners, their defensive imports got to step up. All right, they don't match up on the back end with these receivers. And when you look at the Vikings and the amount of talent that they have, they're going to force a lot of teams to play zone just because a lot of teams don't have the man capabilities to match up guy for guy with the amount of weapons that they have. So we'll see what the Anthroners, decide to do here. It's not a good matchup for the Anthroners in regards to strengths and weaknesses. If I'm the Anthroners, I really want to try to shorten the game, establish the run, try to keep ball control, but it's going to be hard to do. Vikings, way too many weapons. I'm going with Vienna to beat the Anthroners. Next game. This one's going to be a good one. Frankfurt versus Madrid. Both teams kind of need it. We got one team kind of looking for their first win, and we got a team that trying to improve on what they looked like last week. All right, let's start with Frankfurt. You got to find a way to score more points. And I'm not talking about late in the game. Get out to a quick start early and often, all right? You guys, you got weapons, right? Let's see what this Frankfurt team looks like when they're, good enough to score points on a consistent basis. They didn't do a good job of that last week versus Surge. Get athletes out in space. I mean, Sandro looks good. You got Alman looks good. You got Terry Wright looks good. Lenhart played well, right? What else we got? Run defense has to step up. Granted, they're going up against a Madrid team where their run is not their strength, so it may not come into play this much, but run defense in general has to step up for Frankfurt. If I'm Madrid, I need a third option. I need a third option outside of JFC and Aaron Krushenk, and I can't just rely on Selig and Nico Barrow to be that option. Why not get your tight end Roel Saruda involved, right? Let's find the third option. Obviously, Sexton Dragon is hurt. So they're trying to find that option, but I think Reese Net needs a quality third option, in the offense. Find a run game. Be consistent. It may not be the yards, but it should be the attempts, right? It may not be the yards, but it should be the attempts to at least have a team respect the run and respect the threat of the run, right? And we need sack production, right? Iceman. We need sack production this game going up against a really, really solid offensive line with Keanu Ebanks, Steven Nilsson. It's going to be a close game. I'm rocking with Frankfurt. I think they get their first win of the season and a good win versus Madrid before heading home next week. Let's dive into the Sunday slate. First one, who we got? Hamburg versus Prague. This is a 50-50 game. Obviously, the news just dropped. Michael Leon, currently on AR. Moritz Mack is going to start. He does have experience as a starter, so that's going to be good. This is a revenge game for Javarian Smith. Obviously, played with Hamburg last year, got cut, back with Prague. I'm sure this is going to mean a little bit more to him. The key to this matchup, Prague's run game versus Hamburg's defensive front. Hamburg has a very solid and stout defense that's going to keep them in a lot of games, right? How does Adam Druzelka, get off to a good start? I think a difference maker in this game kind of has to be Radim Kalous, right? He's going to get some attention, but he has to win those one-on-one matchups or find the zones, or maybe Joseph Yanoda steps up into the play. We'll see. And how do you use Javarian Smith in the run game as well, too? This is going to be a great game. This is going to be a close game. This game could go either way for sure, right? If I'm Hamburg, Moritz Max playing, focus on ball control, run the ball this game, right? Ken Hike versus Terrion Robinson. That's going to be a hell of a matchup to watch this game. This is going to be a close game, low-scoring game, defensive game. I'm rocking with the Sea Devils to win this game. Next one we got. This is another game that could be 50-50, and it means more to one team than the other, but it's still going to be a close game. And I'm talking about Nordic Stern versus the Rossoff Panthers. All right? No Glenn Tunga out for the season with the Achilles injury. Whitmore and Shannings that have to step up and that running back by committee now for the Nordic Storm. This is a team that operates great off-play action. Jordan and Brandon Ballio have a great downfield connection as well. Andre Pateo Moreno played for the Panthers last year. This could be a comeback game for him. Nordic's defense, I'm a fan. Fast, physical, athletic, guys that could play multiple positions and they could keep the same front. I like Nordic's defense. The questions, we still have questions about Nordic's O-line, and they got Carlos Bruns this week, who gave the Enthroners terror last week. So, and Hugo did too. Hugo played very well too for the Panthers, right? A matchup to watch. Devin Burrell. There's no man like Devin Burrell, right? I spoke about Alpha Jala. I spoke about Aaron Action Jackson. There's no one like Devin Burrell. Shout out to the Panthers, because you look at the guys that they have in their alumni: Tony Tate, Convante Turpin, Malik Stanley, Devin Burrell, Darryl Stewart Jr. They know how to recruit some playmakers, right? They know how to recruit some playmakers. If I'm Rusloff, going up against Norwich, they'll give me some troubles. How do you attack that 3-4? If I'm them, I'm bringing the tight end in, and you find a way to attack the weak side. That's the only way you got to do it. That's the only way they're going to have to find a way. Defense for the Panthers going to have great eye discipline. Again, a lot of play action. And Jadrink, he'll tear you apart. Difference maker in this game for me, Andre Pateo Moreno. I think he's going to have a big game. Fantasy guy. I'm picking Nordic to win this game, but I won't be surprised if Panthers win. And if the Panthers win, watch out for power rankings. Watch out for power rankings, for sure, if the Panthers decide to win this game. All right, next game we got. The upset no one saw coming. Let me rephrase that. The upset no one saw coming. The Helvetic Mercenaries versus the Raiders. First of all, let me get this out the way. Raiders, homecoming, right? They expect this from the Raiders. Get Ja'Cory Sullivan the ball often and early, right? Just to get him touches. 3 catches, not enough. Tobias Bonatti, expect him to get more touches in the run game, right? Could they be sleeping on Helvetic? Let me get this out of the way now. I picked Helvetic to win this game. Let me tell you how they're going to win. How does Helvetic win this game? Ball control, right? And they got to play a clean game. Good first half versus Nordic before they got out of control in the second half. They got to play a clean game. And I'm trusting Coach Horford now that he has a week of film, not only his opponent, but his team and what he can improve on. This coaches have shown me that they could get the best out of this talent. I think they might slip up one here. O-line, got to play better. No offense, but about that. And they're better going forward than they are backwards, right? So I need the run game to be effective. I need Bovell to get the ball. I need Isaiah Weed to get the ball. I need to get the ball out quick on the outside, quick screens, quick bubbles as extensions of the runs, right? On defense, stop the run. You know they're going to run the ball. You're going to run the ball, so stop the run. Keep the ball in front. You're not good enough to play man versus a team. Marco Snyder's going to work the slot. Weber's going to work that tight end position, those little quick hitches. Get to your zones quick, get to your spots quick, because you know that ball's going to try to come out quick. The Raiders don't really threaten you downfield in the pass game, at least from what I've seen. Right, and this year, it's early. I get it, but they don't really threaten the ball downfield, right? Helvetic, call me crazy, because I am. They'll have a little bit of a chance here. I'm picking them to pull off the upset. Again, the upset no one saw coming. Helvetic, Berlin versus Munich. This is going to be an awesome game. And it might be time to start giving Jacob Sullivan his flowers. Led the league in passing touchdowns last year, off to a hot start this year. It was literally 7-on-7 versus the Cologne Centurions. Him and Bryce Googans got off to a great start, a fast start. Berlin's got some weapons. This is going to be a true test, right? Because if Munich, right, Russell Tabor could clean up some of those interceptions and clean up some of those connections, Munich could be dangerous. They could have easily put up probably like 40 or 50 versus the Raiders, and their defense is stout. Nitzlander, great corner. he's going to get tested. That secondary is going to get tested because Berlin's going to throw the ball downfield. It's all about what Munich does. At home, I'm picking the Ravens. But if Berlin wins, similar to the Panthers, it's going to be more for them teams. Power rankings are going to get crazy. Power rankings are going to get crazy. But I'm excited to see what this Berlin team looks like. Janini Adams looks good. Jacob Sullivan does a good job of getting the ball out to multiple targets. You talk about Tyler Foster. You talk about Kawanda. Like, Berlin's a good team. Nicholas Schumann. Berlin, I'm interested to see this true test for Berlin this week. So we'll see here. Last one, game of the week, Stuttgart versus Paris. This is a statement game. Stuttgart, most polished team, look like it. Defensive front, stout. All right, they even play their starters the full game. Right, you see the connection between Riley Hennessy and Jeff Cotton Jr. Right, it looks like they didn't even miss a beat from Darrell Stewart and Yannick Mayer leaving to go to other teams. You got Tommy Wayu, and Kai Hunter. Both that might be the best dynamic duo in the league, right? They go to Paris. This is where I trust, or this is where I'm trusting Del Rio. You have film now. You could improve your team now. You could game plan for the other team now. You know what they're going to run. This is where Del Rio comes into play. This is where his experience comes into play. That Paris defense is fast and physical, and I'm here for it, and I love it. They talk their stuff, and I'm here for it, right? Jalen Henderson got into a rhythm second half of the first game. Maybe this is his coming out party. He knows what he's working with. They just signed Aaron Dobley-Wolf, who played for the Kings earlier in the ELF years, right? Now you got Wolf. I wonder if Hugo's hurt. I wonder if LaRose is hurt. You got Austin Mitchell. You got Anthony Mahongu. All those guys, great talent. Now they just got to put it together. You just got to give Jalen Henderson 1 to 2 more seconds, right? And that O-line is going to be tested again. How do they pull it off? I'm trusting Del Rio in this game. Not saying I don't trust the Surge and Newman, but I'm trusting him to fix the issues. And even with all those issues, they only lost by 2 points. I think this is going to be a good game. I'm going down the limb here. I'm saying Paris pulls off the upset. Locker room, drop a comment. Let me know what you think. Week 2 is going to be fucking awesome. All right? Let me know what you guys think. Athletes Forum Podcast.